Welcome once again. It's me, Suze, at Sophia's Emporium. And we're going to do part 2 of C.W.Chanter, You're a Big Kid Now. You know, I actually, for half a minute, was thinking in my mind that the song You're a Big Kid Now went to Toys R Us. And that was from yesterday's post, where, of course, we saw that the Toys R Us stores have been replaced with a new fashion line called Sweet and Sexy. It's for little kids, you know, hip clothes. All right. For anybody that was with me yesterday or anybody that'll see this in the future, we left off here with a great opera called WOZZEK. And there'll be a little storyline, but we went 2 hours and 4 minutes yesterday. And I'm going to go ahead and just back this one up about 10 minutes so you guys might want to read the bottom captions and get caught up because it's very relevant to the topic of conversation. And it's just a little entertainment for you. So we're going to go ahead. It's at 1:29:28 now. And I think we'll go back to the scene. Oh, this is terrible. Yeah, here's Big Red beating ass. Okay. I'm going to jump back to 1:13:49. That sounds fun. We'll just wait for that to quit circling like a bunch of angry lunatics. Let's see. Okay, good. There we go. Get a little volume on that before we go over to Channelot. And under the Fair Use Act of 1976, of course, I use this for education and spiritual research, citizen journalism, all sorts of good things. Now, we left off with Chanter at 1:25:24. So we're going to go ahead and kick back up a part 2. More recently, that old shut-down nuclear power plant called Susanna. You better tag Susanna. You better tag Susanna. Released all sorts of particles of bullshit into the air.
Not the new Alan Watts, but like Alan Watt, Alan Watts.
Where'd you go over there, Chanter? Hola? Senor Taco. You aren't hiding from Big Red, are you? We'll go check. I can't believe I gotta check in. Trying to work. Play. Play. Why won't you play? Very interesting. We have a frozen screen. Somebody's already playing. That's all right. Believe me, my stuff's everywhere. Give me a minute. Hola, tacos. Anybody awake? It's me, Suze. We're gonna get started. Okay, there we go. Well, we're gonna go to one of my favorite numbers, 1:25:07. And they don't mean it. And then they cry it's because they didn't take their meds or they're bipolar. Oh. Or somebody broke their heart. I see. And that's the human condition. Right. Always a good excuse. We are a sick bunch of nuts. But somebody messed with us and manipulated us so we can get better. That's what I believe. Okay. All right. So here's today's. And I'm sure I'll have something to say. But, like I said, it's really tough on people when they're involved with things that are way out of their range of experience. So they never knew it was there. They didn't see it. And Chanter, whether he didn't choose to look or because he's got a bug in his eye, didn't see that he was running with pedophiles and people that are doing trafficking. And he doesn't believe that there's worldwide trouble. So we're going to play it again. Under the Fair Use Act to educate people and update people. This is serious. There's a big thing going on YouTube. And YouTube is not meant to be a whorehouse. So let's go.
And this is what's crazy. I'm gonna swear to Jesus. This video is gonna prove all the problems that are wrong with alt media. Okay?
No.
Premise. The news reporting on mainstream media is beyond effed. You know that, okay? But the problems with the reporting in alt media is that it's essentially all conjecture and opinion. And I'm going to go into this and the mistakes that I may have made with past reportings on the migration issue. Now, here's where it gets funny. Here's where it gets bizarre. I'm going to let more people show up because I'm livid. I'm absolutely livid. I don't need to be paranoid. I don't need to be paranoid, but I don't think it's paranoia. I'm going to tell you technical things that I ran into today, trying to start a live hangout, trying to start a live video, trying to start a live stream, and the difficulty I even had trying to add hashtags to the announcement on Twitter. So here's what happened. I made a video a couple of days ago called The Truth About the Mexican Border Skirmish.
Right.
Where I basically stated a couple of salient facts. I said, look, this issue with the Mexican border crossing, I believe, is not this. It was being reported in the mainstream news and being reported in alternative media as being part of this migrant caravan thing that people were talking about. Let's do a rough timeline. News started reporting. Now, this is where it gets crazy. We need to talk about this. The major mainstream media, news, and alternative media. What is alternative media? Where is everyone getting their facts? Where are these websites getting their facts from? What are the stories that are getting picked up by alternative media on YouTube that people are running with, including myself? I'm not here to say that I'm a saint here. I'm not here to say that I haven't made mistakes. This is where it gets. This is getting nutty to me. So a couple of months before November, maybe just even a month and a half, 2 months, the news started reporting about a migrant caravan, okay, that was coming up through Mexico from Honduras, and mainly Honduras. I always hear Honduras mentioned, all other things going on, other countries down there. They were going to come through Mexico. They were on their way on foot, approximately 4,000 individuals on foot, and they were coming forward with the stated intent of seeking a new life and seeking asylum in America. How did people get the numbers of the immigrants involved? And how were they going to assess? Were people going to assess what these thousands of individuals traveling on foot? First of all, how did thousands of people travel on foot together as a caravan? That'd be like a moving city. This is getting crazy to me. And I'm asking myself questions because I rely upon certain reporting from what I thought were reliable news sources, including a panoply of mainstream media news sources that I monitor, as well as a panoply of alternative news media sources that I pay attention to as well.
That should be your first indication of your mental illness.
Silly things, not necessarily silly things. I don't even know what to believe what's going on anymore. But let's do the rough timeline because I think that's the easiest way to stick with it. And if I'm lying, I'm dying. And tell me live chat where I say something that's incorrect or wrong. several months ago, people started reporting that there was a migrant caravan coming up through. I keep on doing this because I'm scared of geography. Is
Right.
it Central America? What's below it?
They've been on the border at the wall for about 4 or 5 days now. We have lots of reports and actual footage. He wants to know who.
And they reported that there were several thousand of them, individuals involved in this mass caravan. They were coming up through Mexico. Central America. Okay, here we go. The Central American migrant caravans, also known as the Migrants' Way of the Cross. So apparently it was an organized event composed of people from the Northern Triangle, Central America. So they're coming up through Central America, okay? And early 2017, 2018, I was seeing reporting on mainstream media. I'm going to call her the hoe out by name. No offense, Rachel Maddow made me look like an asshole on YouTube because I relied upon her and no offense, I also relied upon Amy Goodman over at Democracy Now! To tell me that there was a migrant caravan of people coming up through Mexico from Central America, okay, and that they were. Then this is what happened. So then they start reporting about it, and then all of a sudden some time goes on, and all of a sudden prior to the midterm elections in November, it becomes a real issue, and Donald Trump gets involved and starts talking about, well, he's going to mobilize the U.S. military to the border, all sorts of questions. I had all sorts of questions at the time. I said, look, people got all up in arms about Jade Helm when Barack Obama was president. They didn't want to even have military exercises within the continent.
I talked about it in 2015.
Donald Trump is saying he's going to deploy actual troops to the border, and people are like, hey, this is amazing.
3 years ago.
You know what I mean? And I pointed out the fact that this is crazy, that this hero worship of Donald Trump as being somehow diametrically opposed and different than other past U.S. presidents. Theory. If the Illuminati, the powers that be, are the ones that pick the President of the United States of America, and they start noticing that, oh, people are catching on to the fact that the person who gets nominated by either party of the major parties of the United States of America, oh, they always go over to Bilderberg, or they're always at the Trilateral Commission, so these people are picking them. All of a sudden, Donald Trump doesn't go over there, and all of a sudden people are like, oh, he's an outsider, he's an outsider. How would you know what an outsider is, or what isn't an outsider to the powers that be? You're not invited to that clubhouse.
You didn't know I was an insider.
Are you a member of the Illuminati? No, so you have no idea what's going on. I have no idea what's going on anymore. I'm livid. I'm livid because theory. There's absolutely no reason for anyone to ever feel as though they can know the truth of any situation that is outside their specific geographical boundaries of the room they're in or the street that they're looking at. This illusion that any sort of media is able to report any information in this highly charged political atmosphere. There's not, like I said, I'm listening to Amy Goodman, I'm listening to the Corbett Report, I'm even listening to Alex Jones and Rachel Maddow and CNN and Fox News, and I'm also watching Glenn Blake.
Wait, you kept saying Alex Jones was no longer on YouTube. He's back, and you're listening to him, so you know he's back.
So I'm not going to sit here and act as though I haven't done my fair share of trying to investigate what the heck is going on here.
The wrong people.
And from Donald Trump speaking, Amy Goodman and Rachel Maddow, I felt confident as a political progressive that I was being told accurate information, which was as follows. These people were fleeing Central America because of excessive crime. Well, we're going to get into that, whether or not they're trying to get away from crime. And that there were thousands of them, but they were coming up to the U.S., trying to get to the U.S. border. But I was told that when Donald Trump mobilized the military, that was a crazy thing to do because it was going to take these individuals months and months to get to the border on foot. That months and months to get there on foot, and as a response to why Donald Trump was being inappropriate, was not only being parroted, I'm going to say that term, by Noam Chomsky, Amy Goodman, and Rachel Maddow, and apparently people on the progressive left, including all of the mainstream late-night talk show comedians, and satellite, poking and jibbing and jabbing at Donald Trump and that crazy, bigoted mother, as well as who am I saying? I'm so upset.
It sucks you followed the wrong people around. You think just like them.
I guess the as well as was the late night comedians. So we were being told that it would take months and months for them to get here. And then, as soon as the midterm elections happened, Donald Trump reversed his decision on deploying the military. The military was essentially informed by the news that was off, that the military was going to cease their deployment at the border because it was going to take too long for them to get there. And because I want to say that when I was tuned into Rachel Maddow's reporting, as well as the reporting on Democracy Now! And also this other one, I forget, I'm so pissed off, was that that the U.S. military had done their own assessment and disagreed with Donald Trump's assessment that these people would be arriving anytime soon, if they would be arriving en masse at all.
You're bringing a bus to St. Louis. I already told you they were here.
So everything looked essentially like it was correct information to say, yes, there was a migrant caravan coming up from Mexico, but the military's own assessment, as well as the assessment of people in the know, in the news reporting community, they were thousands and thousands of miles away, and therefore traveling on foot, they would probably not get here or not get here as a mass group. Therefore, the deployment of the U.S. military to the Mexican-American border was inappropriate and overreaction or political grandstanding by Donald Trump. Post the midterm elections, the decision to deploy the military was rescinded, seemingly backing up that play or that assessment. That was also credited by military insiders. Rachel Maddow had an individual come on who broke a story for, I believe it was, I forget what Washington newspaper it was, but he was an ex-military man. Again, we point fingers at Pete Santilli and all the other people that are former U.S. military in the alternative media as being some sort of plant. Yet Rachel Maddow had a guy on who was ex-Marine, Iraq war veteran, who was doing this reporting, saying that the military's assessment of the migrant caravan was that it was a nothing burger, and therefore Donald Trump's assessment was incorrect. And then right after the military said, okay, the military's being called off, you see, we told you so, all of a sudden there's this push through event at the border crossing in Tijuana that I had assessed, and I said, what they're not telling you is that there's a tent city there, and that these individuals who are there are not the migrant caravan that we're talking about. Why did I make that statement? Because I had been told by Rachel Maddow and fucking Amy Goodman, no offense, and fucking Noam Chomsky, no fucking offense, gatekeeper motherfucker. There's no reason, but don't believe anyone. Don't believe anyone. Don't believe anyone. Don't believe Alex Jones, don't believe Rachel Maddow, don't believe C.W.Chanter, don't believe Jordan Sather, don't believe anyone.
Those are all co-opted shills.
Don't believe anyone.
But you elevate yourself to their level. Classic.
There is a tent city in Tijuana.
Awful scratchy today.
Every major border crossing, every city that corresponds to a border entry point for Mexico and the United States of America literally has a tent city. Why? Because when people get busted in America for being an illegal immigrant from Mexico, they just bust them back. Whether they catch them at the actual border crossing or they catch them in situ in the United States of America, when they deport people to Mexico, they don't necessarily fly them out. They don't fly you back to the southern tip if that's where you're from.
No, they take your liver out. Maybe all your organs.
They just bust you across the border.
Next
so people
thing you know,
sit there and they stay
in a
there.
burlesque show.
And so I was assuming, stupid me, that this push across the border of Tijuana couldn't have been these Central Americans from the migrant caravan, because I had been told by multiple sources that, hey, don't worry, progressive. Isn't Donald Trump an asshole? Yeah, we're progressive like you. We're liberal like you.
No.
So we're going to tell you the truth.
They get paid
This is a migrant caravan, thousands
to
miles away.
pump the same crock of shit that you do for a lesser price.
And then why all of a sudden is it being rescinded? And then right after it gets rescinded, there's this major event where all of a sudden there is military present to throw tear gas at little immigrant children.
Obama did
That's
it.
that amazing image.
Chemical warfare, yeah, they love it.
And then if I go to the Wikipedia page,
Share it with your
the
friend.
spontaneous migrant caravan is actually organized by a group of people, NGOs. We're not organized pushing through. These people must have been helping push these people through to do this. Maybe.
Yeah.
I have no idea anymore.
Oh, wait.
I don't know
Chanter.
what to believe in.
Chanter. There's Chinese troops in Mexico, too. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Staked out on top of a mountain. Sleeper cells in the United States. You probably didn't know any of that either, did you?
You're being duped by the media. Everyone's effing lying.
No,
Everyone has a goddamn agenda.
I'm not lying.
Effing lying.
I
I
don't
don't
have
have
an
an
agenda.
agenda.
239. I
And when I
represent
tried to do
myself
This live broadcast,
pro se
I titled
in the
it
court
something,
of hell.
more questions about the Mexican border skirmish and whatever. And when I went, I set the whole room up, I set everything up, and then when I go live, it takes me to the Google Hangout window with my beautiful face, but it's not going on air.
Welcome at 240.
I'm trying, it's not going on air. And then when I went to tweet that link, I started, hashtag migrant caravan.
Goodbye at 240.
When you're entering in words, the predictive spelling will give you options. And I was doing migrant caravan, all of a sudden.
Goodbye at 241.
At that point, last time I did it, hashtag migrant
Hey,
caravan.
Kai.
Right
Hey, Susie. Cool. Glad you're here.
Not even showing up as when you do things that are typical things like hashtag whatever. I did hashtag
No, see, it was from your mistake on that video where you solicited sexual acts and you don't realize it yet. You better tag that.
At that point, it's not going to be anything towards immigration.
And you just see over there in China, they get in trouble if they misrepresent and broadcast fake media. That's what you do.
You shouldn't trust alternative media, because alternative media is just solo individuals or small groups of 2 or 3 people who are absolutely subject to things that they don't understand with the work of these technical apparatuses and stuff.
There's no talking to this guy.
So, how did this happen? How is it that a group of people that were being reported by CNN and MSNBC,
Fake news
as well as that panoply of late night
from a
comedians,
satellite.
Daily Show, whatever, we're all saying, "Oh my God,
It's a
Donald
news
Trump,
production.
he's
It's a
cool."
show.
They're thousands and thousands of miles away. And all of a sudden, they're not thousands of miles away.
No, they haven't. They've been right here
They're
for
right
days.
at the border, and they're coming through right as soon as they're saying that they're not going to be
And there you are.
military at the border. It's such crap.
You're crap. Because you were stupid and ignorant, uneducated. You were following the hive mind, the shiny bauble.
I'm so pissed off.
You fell for it. You have to forgive yourself and turn
Because then
around.
you're encouraging people to say, "Oh my God, it's an overreaction," and then by the time they come through, it's going to be a couple of people, whatever.
Nuh-uh. I know you're tripping.
And they're trying to escape systematic violence. What do you mean violence in Honduras? I mean, look, Honduras is full of Hondurans.
No.
There's not a
This
civil war
migrant
down
crisis
there.
is mixed
Oh,
all.
the MS-13,
The
MS-13,
groups.
this gang that's so huge. Have you noticed? Remember ISIS, the gang that was so friggin' huge? They were a gang.
That was
They
a
didn't even have like they
psyop.
didn't have a country, but all of a sudden they're sweeping through and they're taking over huge swaths of land, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere they're done. They're gone.
Collateral
And then
effort.
MS-13. Oh my God, this huge criminal enterprise that could do what? It's like Cobra. You know what I mean? It's this nefarious organization that's so big it can't even be true.
Just call it mafia.
It's ridiculous. And so now what do I say?
My family, not mine, but you know, it's a family of. Okay, okay. The recording is too good for me to talk over today. I can't do it, Susie. I know you know this. Let's see, it says, he has no stake in this. If you read the comments, people keep telling him to calm down, focus, and discuss why he's pissed off in the first place. Excellent comment. Excellent comment. And see, the problem is he's witnessed to the fact dozens of times that he cannot remember what he says. And so at this point, he's so fired up, and you can see the coloring in his face and everything. He has no rationale, and I think that that would be tough for a learned person that studied jurisprudence. And like we spoke about the other day, what jurisprudence is every lawsuit that was brought against a specific person, industry, or corporation. Let me read this. All right. We have another comment from Kai. This caravan first came out last year, but no one discussed it again. It crossed the border, came into the U.S. It was from Guatemala. This is the same caravan the mainstream has brought back out. Exactly, but it's reuse, recycle, right? And people can't even hold attention for 10 minutes. And the news is all a manufactured show. And people are so used to hearing half-assed stories, and they're way overburdened with their own affairs. So I would say that's the reason why. But I will continue to comment and speak to anyone that would like to bring wisdom and help. I want to keep this recording clean. I'm so proud, and it's tough to get good audio when you work device to device. So here again, let's get on with it. People, not a particular family. It's a family like the Zanash, united under a common theme, like a corporation. They want to pay back the stockholders, remember?
So Jasmine asked if I could take a breath and I could recap real quick.
Right. Breathe, dude. Your whole life is crumbling. You're having a midlife crisis. You didn't burn out your false ego. It's called dross. It's in your belly and your brain.
No, it's totally cool. So, to recap, the reason that I'm a bit upset and feeling a fair bit of consternation is the fact that I had believed that I was being given accurate reporting regarding the quote-unquote migrant caravan coming from Central America up through Mexico with the stated intention of reaching the United States of America to seek asylum. That was the story that was being reported to me by the panoply of news sources that I thought I could rely upon for legitimate.
It's like a monopoly. You ever hear of one? Just because there's 2 or 3 doesn't mean it's not a monopoly. They're all in bed together. They got the same fleas.
Legitimate. Oh my god.
And then, hey, Chanter, today the shit hits the fan where they talk about maybe a state-run media. Oh, that's a bad buzz, if you believe in this system. They're coming for you, buddy. I mean, they're coming for all of us if that happens. Time to grow up. You're a big kid now. You've been woke up. Left ear. And I don't care what Lisa Harrison has to say about left ear, right ear. Whatever, Lilu. Welcome at 2:49. On it too. And don't think that Lisa Harrison and Danny Goodbye at 2:49 won't be tied back to Melon Blowhole in this whole fiasco. Oh yeah, it's a huge group of people. Where'd you go? Are you having a meltdown? Crying? Blowing your nose? Talking to your wife? Are you running? Oh shit. Is that when I came in your live chat? I mean earlier today, because we timed it out and I looked at it. I said maybe welcome at 2:50 made you run and hide, or something happened with your audio, or you're talking to people behind the scenes. What's going on? I mean, back and forth. Having a hard time with your stream. Hola? Senor Taco. They know who you are. And you're not a blue avian. Oh, there you are. Pulling on that beard hair.
I have no idea what's going on. Am I back?
Not sure.
Am I back?
I think so. Are you a real boy? This is what a midlife crisis looks like. He's reading the chat.
I have no idea what's going on. So,
maybe that drone music isn't so good for you.
Apparently, I need to ground. So listen. So this is why I'm upset. So
you need to ground. And you're not grounded.
Yeah, I went 20 minutes of bed. Oh my god. Okay.
Together.
Thank you.
No,
what's up, C.W.? So C.W.Chanter asks, what's going on? I don't know. I don't know.
No, you do know, but you're terrified because you're getting caught. You do know what's going on.
Looking
more than you want to
at these news events, this chronicle of events with this migrant caravan. Looking at the reporting on it. Looking at the fact that based upon that, I see everything now. You know, you ever like catch someone cheat, like a girlfriend cheating on you? And like all of a sudden, all of a sudden, things start to make sense. It's like, you ever see that movie, The Usual Suspects, where, I forget the name of the actor, but he's interviewing, Kevin Spacey, Kaiser Soze, but he doesn't realize that it's Kaiser Soze. He thinks it's this guy, Virgil Klent or whatever. And he's interviewing him, all of a sudden, the whole point of The Usual Suspects, not to be a spoiler alert, is this, at the end, the detective looks around his office and realizes that this dude that he's been interviewing, they just let walk out of his office, is the actual criminal mastermind that he's been seeking on this entire time. Everything just kind of falls and fits into place.
When you figure out.
It's like the end of Angel Heart, when, not spoiler alert, the individual starts to realize that the guy that he's been looking for this entire time is himself. Right, essentially.
Not just yours. And really, it's not me. Hey, look, we're spinning out of control. How creepy. Now, of course, we're live here on the phone. But now my computer... goes down. Oh, we're back. Tag it.
I feel hoodwinked. I feel manipulated. I feel misinformed.
This is what you would tell a
therapist. And I feel like I cannot trust Chaz Baldwin's exam. I cannot trust the mediated images that are being brought to me.
You were already
and
like
maybe
that.
This is like, I know that there's got to be a lot of people in the audience who are like, dude, are you suggesting that, are you upset because you're just now realizing
Tag it.
That mainstream media is a crock? But like I said, it's not just mainstream media. It's Pulitzer Prize winner Amy Goodman.
So what?
It's the Noam effing Chomsky.
It's a compromised group of
I
individuals.
I was tuned in to a variety of information resources. And the information resources on the left and the right were all telling me the same information. Kind of. But from different angles.
Separate and divide.
And now I'm realizing it feels as though it's all a convoluted scam and that all roads lead to Rome.
It's all a script.
Right? It was suggested in the live chat before that if we were talking about how Donald Trump comes to power to be president of the United States of America, a lot of it involves the actions that were taken by the Democratic National Committee in foisting upon us Hillary Clinton as their presidential nominee when everybody knew that Bernie Sanders was polling as the most popular politician in America. But all of a sudden it goes to a woman whose poll numbers are stacked in comparison. A woman with an entire history of having political problems in her run for the president of the United States of America. But we don't get Bernie, we get Hillary. And we get so much reporting of Donald Trump's not going to win. Donald Trump's not going to win. Donald Trump doesn't even think he's going to win. And all of a sudden Donald Trump wins.
How do you know all these things? And they all wind up being wrong.
And it's not just the fact that in my assessment, when I'm trying to assess how I'm feeling about the situation, it's not just that it's a problem in media or news reporting. It has to do with the conspiracy that, like, I hate to be like in 2018 coming from conspiracy theory land, talking about conspiracy theory land, in conspiracy theory land. I must sound like a real a-hole to all of a sudden being like, guys, you know what I mean? You have to realize this goes all the way to the top.
Right. Exactly. And all the way to the bottom. Like a bad sandwich. Full of pork or something. I don't know. Let's get you some
This is
help.
not true. This is really happening. Rosemary's Baby.
Scaring you.
Absolutely appropriate movie quote.
I want some
So it's all manipulation tactics and
decorate you.
It's all manipulation tactics and lies.
Where's all my masks? What's going on? I'll put a cartoon to you later, don't worry. I was just trying to lighten
It's
up the
information war.
situation.
It's true. It is apt. You know what I mean? And I've talked about it before. You know, I've talked about some of these things before.
Let's leave it.
I've talked about some of these things before, but and it's not that I didn't know it. You know what I mean? It's I did know, but
Tag
the
it.
information wasn't like
Blow me sideways. Anybody that doesn't get it.
it hadn't been actualized at this point because I did trust that.
But
even
you're
I think what
bipolar.
it is this is that I knew that
You've got mental
when it came
illness.
to the actions of the Democratic
You
National
talk
Committee
shit.
or the Republican National Committee
I gotta go to
or
bed.
the powers that be at mainstream media, at Fox News and MSNBC and CNN and, you know, these various places, that there were systematic problems with mainly what I thought were mainly problems regarding, you know, corporate influence in the massaging and manipulation of the news. Thank you so much for the donation, Zikafus.
Piss me off.
But as a fallback, I knew that there were problems in certain aspects of alternative media, but I knew that there were certain venues in alternative media that I trusted more or did not think had the same level of corporate bias and entertainment factor influence as these mainstream media outlets I had previously named. Going down to things like, you know, PBS or NPR. Okay, there's still some problems there, but I was thinking that we're getting a little bit better. And then when it came to things like outlets
Guilty
like
by
Independent
association.
Democracy Now, or Sam Cedar on the Majority Report, or you know, Randy Rhodes or whatever, I felt as though even with its own systematic problems, but I felt a little bit better, a little bit more trustworthy than mainstream news, were outlets like the Young Turks to a degree. And I'm also tuned into the Corbett Report. And as I said, I'm also tuned into Alex Jones and InfoWars. I'm also tuned into Glenn Beck on The Blaze. I'm paying attention to what Bill Kristol is saying. I'm trying to identify conservative voices that are of note and you know, trustworthy to get those perspectives too. And I felt as though I was getting through this
I trust
plan
Gerald Salente.
media sources.
I trust Project Veritas. I trust this evolutionary arts guy. There's a lot of great people. I mean, Robert Phoenix brings awesome information. But you see none of these people. You don't acknowledge Randy and his work. I mean, you mock John Lamb Lash. I don't know.
What I'm reacting to is the fact that I'm realizing that the prophylactic measures that I thought that I had taken,
those are rubbers.
Mainstream media bias by looking at
you use birth control
what I thought were trustworthy names
to try to not be influenced by media. All right.
Turn out to be just as problematic.
That's my word. I love
And that's
problematic.
disheartening, and it's also scary. Because we do need information to help us assess what's going on in the world and to help us assess our day-to-day decisions. I guess to a degree.
You suck
Because I
at
do
it.
believe that there are systematic issues in the world that can reach out and touch you, whether it's gun violence in America or man-made global warming, or whether it's potential nuclear disasters or systematic problems with infrastructure, or whether it's natural disasters around the world that you would want to know about, even if it was only to be able to include people in your prayers. I mean, do we really think that what happened in Chernobyl or what happens in Fukushima is irrelevant to us? So sometimes some of the people that
Hey, channelize.
I regard as
It's happened here in the United States too. Think back to 3 Mile Island, or more recently, that old shut down nuclear power plant called Susanna. You better tag Susanna. It released all sorts of particles of bullshit into the air.
Not the new Alan Watts, but like Alan Watt, Alan Watts, you know what I mean, or certain people that would say, like, even if you think about Jesus' statement, if it could be credited to an actual man, Jesus, of render unto Caesar's what is Caesar's. There have been many people that have said, dude, turn off the news. Turn off the news. What's happening in Vietnam? It's got nothing to do with you. What's happening over here? It's got nothing to do with you. You can't assess whether or not that's true and accurate reporting of information. I mean, I guess, like, how do I assess what's true and accurate reporting of information? I would by definition have to be relying upon other individuals who are reporting to me from far away about those same issues.
You're guilty by
association.
association.
I mean, Washington is covering up the number of dead in the Iraq war conflict. Or comes the latest report from an alternative media source embedded in here, where this Rolling Stones article indicates why this CNN coverage is skewed.
I actually brought that information forward. I gotta turn you off. Look, I brought that information forward from the book You're Being Lied To, and it documents what happened with the Rolling Stone and how they were put on the sacrificial altar. And after that, the journalistic pieces were just lacking that certain something that had brought them their well-deserved reputation as innovative, cutting-edge journalists. So that's a real thing. Really did happen. And the book is, yes, you are being lied to. You are being lied to. Sorry. Go ahead. Oh, wait. Wait, Chanter. I did that show during the CCN days. Mel tried to take it down, but don't you worry. I copied it. Got it on my computer. So, we'll have to pull that up and actually pull that story just for you. I also made you a playlist. It's called C.W.Chanter. You're a big kid now. Rely upon all these various people who are giving you alternative information or different streams of information, and you're left saying, well, how the heck do you know what's going on in the Iraqi conflict? What really caused it? How do we, look, I'm miles away from ground zero of 9/11 as we speak. If I wanted to, I'm not saying I'm right next door, if I wanted to, if I started walking now, I'd probably get there in a couple of hours. Tag it. But for my ability to accurately assess on any sort of level what really happened on 9/11, or you have to rely on a trusted insider source who by definition would be inside the U.S. government. It was obvious to me and many others
How do I assess their
that that
reliability
footage
if they're
was
flat
faked.
or COINTELPRO?
It was a manipulated, what they call a false flag. But there was really destruction and people really did suffer, and whether they died or not, within 10 years they were dead from the cancer and the fallout. While your dumbass was drunk.
That feeling instinct to assess what's really going on. And are we just left with the inevitability of confirmation bias?
Look at you, you're so dumbfounded. That's shock going
It's
through a grown
insanity.
man.
And so I would say, I'm tempted to say, okay, so turn off the news media, CW. Realize now what's the real lesson? That you cannot know with any real hope of accuracy what is happening beyond what you can assess with your own body, what you felt with your own body, what you see with your own eyes,
your choice.
what you hear with your own ears, what you smell with your own
Other
nose, what you
people
taste with your own mouth.
Experience beyond their
Leaving aside the complex
little space.
philosophical arguments of the brain in the jar, or we're all trapped in the matrix, Steve. Leaving aside those abstract philosophical conceptions, assuming for argument's sake that there is an objective world that I occupy, and my eyes are reporting to me accurately what's happening to a degree on the outside of my quote-unquote self. I'm tempted to then say, okay, turn off all those other media resources, because it doesn't matter, because you can't know whether it's true or accurate or not, therefore don't pay attention to it. But in this interconnected world, where I do believe we are standing upon a spinning globe with satellites in space, and there are things like the nuclear disaster in Fukushima or man-made climate change, that there's a degree to which I can't not pay attention to reports of the massive coal burning in China.
The news is manufactured from satellites. I made a video about it. It's called The Biggest Story You'll Never Hear. Tag it.
That had a compassion for my fellow men and women of planet Earth. That as a person who has to know that my tax dollars, my federal tax dollars, are going into a war machine that is dropping ordnance on people around the earth, I somewhat feel responsible to know about that ordnance falling on people around the world.
It's been going on for years.
And what's happening? And I've got compassion for
your whole life has been going on
for everybody. And I feel as though that to really get it, you need to find a love for your fellow man that extends beyond, I love my fellow men and women who are American like me.
You can't love anybody until you love yourself.
Or Puerto Rican or half and half.
And you don't love yourself, and you don't respect life. So quit it with the I love you to everybody. You shit all over it, just like the words I'm sorry.
And I have to know that in my heart of hearts as a political progressive who supports the actions of these non-governmental organizations, fundamentally at a philosophical level, because they're trying to get people who exist in worlds of need and get them to worlds of opportunity.
Are you talking about trickle-down economics? I don't know what you're
but then
talking
my compassion extends out and says that everyone is operating with an agenda.
Everybody that's currently in place, not the new people that come
And you
in.
can do the wrong thing for the right reasons.
You mean take them all out because to get the one bad guy? What? Expendable casualties?
And does it help the situation in a charged political atmosphere where we know the immigration problem in America, as well as the mirroring of it in the European Union with the controversies regarding Merkel and Germany and how the European Union's open border policies allowed a funneling of immigrants from, sub-Saharan Africa and the Middle East to come in, and all the chaos and problems that's causing over there.
Right, it's happening globally. Look at France and Russia with the Ukraine. Open your eyes. It's even here.
What's the mentality of a non-governmental organization that's going to look at reactions in Europe to mass migration and say, what we're going to do is we're going to try and help more migrants arrive?
No.
That seems like an intentional attempt to cause conflict.
These are unidentified people
that helped obviously organize this mass on-foot migration.
They can be scooped up
to the United States of America.
Just like over 1,000 dead in California, not 71.
You're making a political protest, but
bones are they?
They're using the bodies of human beings as a kind of
human shield,
human battling ram.
Forever. Women and children first.
And Dick is changing trees for a minute.
Go ahead.
Dick Alligator
I
from
love Dick.
Remote viewing.
Not like it sounded. I love Dick Alligator. Because he was telling old Cliff High there. Do. Oh, that was classic. I responded to that video. And you think the remote viewers are full of shit. And you thought Bitcoin was the only cryptocurrency.
Crypto.
Bitcoin was already run by the
We're saying that he had this
powers that be. It would have gone through the banks.
That means
the
that
banks are dirty too. Do you know that?
Prediction. So he was doing his remote viewing, I guess, a while ago.
Look at his hands.
And he remote viewed that there was going to be
so
a situation, I guess, with tear gas and the iconic image of a child being hit with tear gas.
Welcome at 3:17.
And I would say that to predict that is that's it's not quite predicting that the sun's going to rise tomorrow.
It will.
But it's kind of similar because, of course,
it's not.
And of course, the news was there. How the fuck did the news get there? I guess you could fly really fast.
You missed it.
And how did people get this assessment of the migrant caravan?
Chanter, wait. You missed it when you were doing the secret space program school.
To the border that quickly. How is the assessment that wrong? In today's world of mainstream of media reporting, where reporters are able to get assessments.
By at 3:17, 3:18, whatever. I looked down for a minute and they're gone.
Central America, in Mexico. When this was a news event and story that would have had embedded reporters that were traveling along it.
The algorithm doesn't play the real news. Not yet.
And Sam Cedar told me.
Just hang on. Get that diaper out. Things are going to change in front of your eyes.
that these few thousands of people that were mostly, women and children,
Right. Very profitable.
with thousands of miles traveling on foot, and the military's own assessment
500,000.
was that they weren't going to be a problem, they weren't going to come and arrive in America en masse, and there wouldn't be a situation.
All the organs, whore them out first, use them for everything they got. Take their hair, take their jewelry.
And the reporting on Fox News, and what Alex Jones was saying, and what Glenn Beck was saying, it was, it's all, and what Donald Trump was saying was all racist nonsense.
You're a racist. But not by your definition, because your definition is wrong.
Stop.
To Chanter, anyone
Stop.
who is racist
Somebody walking down the
stands
street.
out as an individual,
Relax.
which is
Very
really
relax.
weird.
Chill out.
He thinks everybody's exactly the same,
And I have to say to myself, like, I realize, like, we say, like, I say as a progressive, bleeding heart liberal, honestly, self-assessing here,
At least you admit it.
that, I like to buy the world a Coke, right? I just wish there was this, like, that there's this problem with all these rich people that have all these things, and that, it's a shame that all these, the majority of people on planet Earth are poor.
But you grew up
And,
privileged.
come on,
How can you really believe this?
Don't round up immigrants and don't kick them out, and
'cause
don't
you're a
don't build a wall,
spoiled,
because a wall is
punk-ass
like a nasty thing.
And then you got locked down because you were wackadoo.
But if like 10%, because there was just this environmental news report that came out from the U.S. government itself, that of course was dropped on Black Friday,
Right.
when no one's paying attention to the
Right.
news except paying attention to the news.
It's a classic move, and you got a parasite on
Sales
your lip.
events or whatever.
Yeah, they do that. And then people forget about it. By the
If
way,
like 10% of that stuff is true,
you're fucked. We're all fucked, right? You gotta figure it
you're
out.
absolutely gonna have to build a wall,
Oh.
because there's not gonna be enough water,
Oh. Or
and there's
no.
not gonna be enough crops
Right, but you'll just eat fast food.
to feed
Ready-made.
everybody.
Thomas Kerwin says
So-
you print it out of plastic or shit.
Random
I don't know,
pontification,
something.
random speculation mode. David Icke world. I'm going beyond my abilities to successfully assess these situations, and I'm just talking as a human being, a father, you know what I mean, and a son, and a brother, and a friend, you know what I mean?
No.
Maybe the quote-unquote powers that be are letting these migration situations happen because they know, oh yeah, we're going to definitely want to, preserve the Middle Eastern bloodlines and the African bloodlines and the South American and Central American bloodlines as well. We're going to want to have that genetic information
Tag
preserved.
the legitimate
And,
12
Lord knows
tribes.
that, Central and South America
And Israel
India and Africa
is actually Edinburgh, Scotland.
Hellscapes.
Basically, there was 4 white, 4 yellow, 4 red, and 4 black.
So as long
They
as
weren't
we
all
want to
Jewish from
eventually end
Israel.
up in these domed
You
super
schmuck.
cities, which will be the only places where we can survive. You know what I mean? Like a seed vault. Like encouraging this mass migration as a form of I should. I'm a huge woman.
Of democide. Death by government. Oh, cat wants out.
No, because that's the stuff guy says. I feel like you would like the country taken down and overrun so it could be closer to your dream of communism. No, I think what I'm saying is this: is that I'm left knowing and understanding that eventually things might come down to an actual scarcity of resources. That as much as we want to
Your
believe
fat
in,
ass uses
that I
a
want
lot
to
of
believe in,
resources.
that if we could just redistribute the wealth or whatever, we would have a more amicable or equitable system.
No,
But
those
it's just like there's like no
bajillionaires
way
need
it's
to
gonna
pay their
happen.
debt
You know
to
what I
society.
mean? And there's certain things that are out of my control.
Only
There
you
are certain
can
things that are
control
out of my
yourself,
control.
nothing else.
So
Not your woman,
trying to
not your
and being aware
kids,
of the fact that here's the real deal.
not
Here's
your
the real
parents.
deal. When I was thinking about what today's video was going to be about, and we're gonna come up against a hard break because I have to
He's
go
gotta
home
go.
to not be super late getting home. When I was thinking about today's concept of today's video, and it was taking
At this point, we have
shape,
25 more
I
minutes.
wasn't thinking about talking about or discussing news events or mass media or alternative media and its influence. I was thinking about more along the lines of an open-ended discussion kind of about I don't know if forgiveness is the term, but just this notion of like trying to understand perceived adversaries and the fact of trying to
Right, you thought I was an
understand,
adversary. You attacked me.
many of the
Tag it.
conflicts that we
Because you don't know who
experience,
to trust.
interpersonal and otherwise, as everybody is just the inevitable, conflict between different people trying to get their needs met.
You should have
Even
never
though those, getting those needs met may
encouraged
seem
people
like
to
there's
call me crazy.
an inborn competition there.
You know what else you shouldn't have done? Encouraged Sarah the mage to pull information from my page. And then he realized I wasn't what you said.
It's like I'm just like looking at the
And
whole situation and like having
now you know where he's at.
This heartfelt experience of reassessing things.
Because he's
In
Scooby-Doo.
regards to my ability to trust in media.
I mean,
or,
unless he's not.
Thinking that
You guys
I've
have
done
dozens of
something
fake fuck
in my
avatars. And you're all having to get called in and get
that
questioned.
will allow me to put
Ugh.
together
Everybody's talking about it.
a realistic view of the world.
Your world, right? What is your world? Porn?
And discovering that that's
Video
not true has been
games?
kind of disheartening.
Ripping people off as a lawyer?
It really is.
Not respecting your temple, which is your human body? I mean, which offense is it? Or is it just plausible deniability, counselor?
It really is disheartening. Because I do feel as though I want to know and understand.
But you mock it every
the
time
world
somebody
around me.
shares with you. You rape
And I
it,
do feel and know that
and
I
then you
want to
mock it.
understand what's really going on.
And you do
So
it
that
for
I know
views.
what's really going on.
No, you don't know what's going on. Never have.
Thank you, John.
Since you were a kid.
One of my favorite tricks.
You're a fragmented child. And it's time to grow up. You're a big kid now. It's so hard to see you
But
tripping this
looking at
bad.
everything in balance, I feel as though it's impossible for me where I'm sitting now. Hey, if I'm on the road to hell, at least I'm on the road. At least I'm headed in a direction.
Hey,
You know what I
tag
mean?
it. In hell you'll be in good company with a redhead. That's a deep south. Look it up. Viral. There's a song about it. I'll show it to you guys. They're my friends.
So I think what I have to do is understand that and just accept the reality of the fact that I can't trust that any of the information that's being reported to me from around the world,
By
or
paid
even around the
shills.
nation, I can rely
By
upon
employees
as being
of a
accurate.
corporation. By the
And
system.
even though I would love it if it were. I just simply can't.
Right, your reality is shutting
And so
down.
based on that,
It's been shattered.
I don't know.
You don't know why you believe what you believe. You never did. That was to work out in your teenage years.
Maybe it's that I don't know. Thank you again. I don't know if there's value.
And then you revisit it in your crisis years. That's 2 strikes. You know what happens on the
Fred
3rd
Mountain
strike?
at Artist Institute tomorrow night.
You're
I don't know
out.
if that's local. I'm assuming that's New York.
I'm talking about softball or baseball. You either strike out or you walk, or you
And I
hit.
also think that it's interesting that when I tried to set up the live stream that was titled "More Questions About the Mexican Border Conflict," it wouldn't let me go online. But the minute I changed it to something more innocuous, and I had hashtags in it like immigration or migration or caravan, and the minute
Which
that
you've been abusing this last month. Because you just figured out the hashtags.
What's going on?
Look at your other videos. You didn't do it. The algorithm picked it up.
Now, I've talked about in the past seeing other alternative media people in the scene, and I've mocked and made fun of the fact of when they see things like interference with their live stream or technical problem. They read
Welcome
all
at
sorts of stuff
3:30.
into it, like, oh, we're being messed with by the powers that be or whatever.
That's not what I say.
But
I say
I
the
guess it's
system.
a lesson in
Here.
empathy.
I say the network has picked us up. I also say tag that glitch. And I've done many videos illustrating that very thing.
Not being able to, especially when I was doing so under the influence.
That's how they know you globally, by the way. Third-party evaluations between the pro se, redheaded grandma, and the lawyer that's prosecuting her secretly. You wanted to string me up and kill me, dude. You would have had me in jail, 6 feet under.
It could be a chance operation, right?
To hide your
But here's where it gets really interesting.
misdealings?
I just want to talk about this too before I have to go.
You gotta go now.
Is that, when we were talking about the steps that these brokerage houses of information, social media,
Data
Facebook,
collectors,
Twitter,
tag it.
YouTube, when we were talking about some of the suggestions that were
No,
being
Mayor
made
McStinky,
of
lay
what they were
down.
going to have to do to deal with this problem of disinformation and quote unquote fake news being peddled through, like all this information news about Facebook were being used by the propagandists of Russia
Video
to
game
influence
format.
the election, and that's what happened.
Facebook is a video
all this
game
stuff.
format.
Oh, they're going to have to do something
Data
about fake
collection
news.
tool.
Mark Zuckerberg is up in arms because he's realizing that something
might
has
not
to be
even
done
be a
about
real
this
guy.
disinformation. And a lot of things that were being said is that, and then if you look at the Chinese
Evidence
government,
supports the
social
idea.
media policy of
It's a fake
monitoring all their
identity.
citizens in order to give them a score, sociability or trustworthiness score. And part of what would influence
You get in a
your
zero.
score in China apparently nowadays is whether you quote unquote spread fake news. So what did C.W.Chanter do a couple of days ago when I was talking about the Mexican migrant situation at the border, and a lot of what I was not reporting on but assessing, talking about, and editorializing about was information that I had assumed was accurate, but that apparently wasn't accurate.
Yeah.
Could I be labeled with, or could my channel be taken down because I was quote unquote spreading fake news?
Absolutely. On purpose.
And then who makes that decision?
And with intent to do
and
harm.
if there is collusion at the top, between
Tag it.
the mainstream media and the alternative media
Mm-hmm. The
and the
corporation.
government.
The corporation of the United
And the
States
allegations or whatever,
and its media
without
propaganda
those
machine
allegations.
should be held liable,
And we're looking at
and
the
have to
situation in real time.
pay for the damages,
Whether you came at it from the left or you came
restore
at it
us,
to the right, it would be entirely
walk
possible
away.
for someone at the top to say, you spread fake news when you said X, Y, or Z.
X, Y, or Z. What is it? Which one of your many lies? You didn't know, though.
And who made the mistake of saying that they were
College
thousands
did
of
it to
miles
you.
away and they weren't going to get here en masse?
Rachel,
And then who
Maddow?
made the
I don't
mistake
know.
of telling the military to deploy and then not to deploy? You see what I'm saying?
You listened to the wrong people.
And I'm left feeling like,
You don't know
not to
who
go
to
into
trust.
the Terry Cassidy persecution complex,
Oh, now bring in Carrie Cassidy, Project Camelot.
but to try and
She
as
has to
honestly
do
as
with
I
my
can assess
surprise.
what's
She's
going on
washed up.
and assessing how I am going to proceed from here.
Stop, drop, and roll.
Mm-hmm.
Pick up your toys and go home. Seek spiritual counseling. Get clean.
Right.
Do a
That
colon
of the
cleanse.
possibilities that I have to assess and try and balance out.
It's going to take a lot of work, chant a lot. Maybe you can chant about it. That'd really be a good thing for your religion. You can do a testimonial.
Mm-hmm.
Is the possibility
Right.
that
Serious.
people upstairs
Number one knows them. You'll be meeting them soon.
are
Yeah, I
creating a
know.
situation,
I know.
whether you're on the left or on the right, whether you consider yourself a conservative or whether you consider yourself a progressive.
I'm none of the above.
Mm.
We're being systematically shocked.
Not me. Not my friends. We're the shockers. You're the shockee.
Tag it.
Systematic shocks to the system at a rate and a level that no human could possibly, no primate could possibly deal with.
Tag it. An extraterrestrial can deal with it because we're terrestrial beings.
They're freaking
Aliens
out.
aren't supposed to be here doing this thing. You're an alien. You're a monkey alien with a little
Right.
bit of lizard in
We
you.
are not primates.
And
Correct.
a lot of parasite. And none of that's a joke.
Bingo.
Cover me
Darwinism bullshit.
when I run.
No way.
Cover me through the fire.
Not on your life.
Something knocked me out of the trees. Now I'm on my knees.
You couldn't even climb a tree.
Cover me. Darling, please.
Sweet talking
Monkey,
will not get you
monkey,
there.
monkey.
Fuck no.
Don't you know you're gonna shock the monkey? Fox the fox.
You spanked the monkey.
Rat the rat. You can ape the ape. I know about that. There's one thing you must be sure of. I can't take any more.
How do you think
Darling?
I feel?
Don't you monkey with the monkey.
Oh.
Don't you know you're gonna shock the
I
monkey?
don't have a monkey on my back.
Shock the monkey.
Ooh.
Wheels keep turning. Something's burning.
You're like a rat on one of them wheels.
Don't like it, but I guess I'm learning.
Everybody's got to learn
Shock,
sometime.
shock, shock. Watch the monkey get hurt. Monkey.
They say it's no fun
Shock,
until somebody gets
shock,
hurt, and it ain't gonna
shock.
be me.
Watch the monkey get hurt. Monkey. Cover me when I sleep,
You need a friend to take the bugs off you.
when I breathe.
Are
You
you-
throw
do you
your
have
pearls
sleep
before the
apnea?
swine. Make the monkey blind.
A lot of people with parasites, they have sleep apnea.
Too much at stake.
They can't breathe at night because the
Ground
worms
beneath me shake.
moving around.
And the news
Welcome
is
at 3:39.
breaking.
It's done, bro.
Shock, shock, shock. Watch the monkey get hurt.
This all happened in the past.
See ya
Shock,
at 3:39. Out of here.
Shock. Watch the monkey get hurt. Monkey. Shock the monkey to life. Shock the monkey to life. Holy motherfucker. Shit.
Hey, here's what I used to say to my grandma. Sweet woman, alcoholic from all the trauma. I'd say, Gram,
That's it right there.
wake up and go to sleep. That's what I feel like is what's going to happen with you. You might shut down for a day or two. If you do, sleep well. Forgive yourself, come to terms with this, and grow up. There's help on the other side. Not a lobotomy and not more meds.
I gotta go home.
Yeah, you do. You better get your fat ass home to your wife. And quit scratching. Ugh. We're gonna have to go look at a couple posts to show you the examples of what's coming in around the country, but how long you got? 4 minutes. You can do it. Pull yourself together. Suck in that gut.
Shoulders back.
And clean yourself off. You've been rolling in shit way too long. You and your friends. Some have just been in there setting you up, busting you, giving you more rope. They're not
Gotta
all your
go
friends.
home now. Gotta get away from the messed up world I saw today.
For the first time he saw it.
Gotta go home now. Gotta go quick. This messed up world now. It's got me sick.
Fuck
I'm
you.
going home now,
That was your choice.
where I belong.
So your
Gonna
wife
go
can take
home
care of you
now,
for not
singing
too
this
long.
song. I gotta turn off the TV and the radio,
Uh-oh, lost
'cause
her
I
ring.
don't know if I can trust them now.
You better be able to trust your family, I hope.
Gotta go, gotta go, gotta
Agreed.
go, gotta go home now. Gotta go, gotta go, gotta go, gotta go home.
You made this song up yourself, huh?
Gotta go, gotta go, gotta go, gotta go home. I love you, and that's the truth. I don't know why, but I know it's the truth. So know that I love you, even when I'm wrong. And pray for me as I sing my song.
Are you a paid actor?
If no one told you that they loved you today,
Oh. Other people
just
have told me.
remember what I always say.
No.
It may not make sense.
I can't hear you.
Cause we never met. But I sure love you. Like
These
I
are your,
were
these
your
are your,
pet.
just your TV friends. Remember I came on your
Just
show?
remember
Spirituality and
that
Politics.
it's true. It's damn true that I love you.
That makes somebody want to erp. That means puke. Okay. No, we're not looking at you again. Just stop. Okay, so let's go back to Facebook.
Okay, I can't
Almost
not
4
talk
in the
any
morning.
longer. Okay, we gotta take a break. All right. Now, we're gonna go back and goodbye to whoever was here. It's 3:44. Right. We're gonna go over a few key things here, and I took some notes. All right, so I'll admit, Kai, it was hard on me too, and when I was young, my headaches were way worse than they are now. How do I get my damn screen big? Hang on. Oh, duh, it's down here. I moved that bar so it's not up there when I want to jump around. Okay, so anyhow, I had some really bad headaches when I was young. It probably had to do with the injury to my head, which has been documented. Second, third degree burns, and Lord knows what they did during the experimental phase of it, right? But whatever's happened with me behind the scenes, it's been a blessing. And, I'm still fully capable and interactive and feel and have empathy and all that. But, like in my 30s, I always suffered with chest pain because my blood pressure was always high on account of internalizing the stress like an A blood type does naturally. And I know people are terrified of this neurolinguistic programming or whatnot. But, even when I was young, I told a story about going to the comedy club and being encouraged to go up on stage and be hypnotized. And I didn't go under like the one group. And I also wasn't one of the ones that they asked to leave the stage. And what happened was, besides making them look like jackasses, they came to this point where they wanted you to hold your baby and do things with your baby. Well, I had never been pregnant, but I never really saw myself as, I want the white picket fence and the 3.5 kids or whatever, just from my own upbringing. And I was really way more focused on my career and surviving my life. And so I started crying. And I mean, I'm not talking about bawling or having a nervous breakdown. I'm talking about tears coming out of my eyes, just like they do now. And I know you guys saw my face. And I know it's old, and I know people get annoyed with my voice. But one of the things, that Chanter also mocks is the art of face reading. And there's this dude that's king shitpin when it comes to proper uses for NLP. And I mean, they I knew they were reading my face. I knew everything I signed up for on September 1st that hadn't happened to me yet. So, as it comes along, I'm like, oh, okay. Another way to learn and grow and get rid of this. They want to call it like karma so people can understand it or understand it. Because if you understand it, here's what you're doing. You're going, oh, okay, I'll believe you and do whatever you say. That's understanding something, standing under a statement. We're seeking to understand what the fuck's going on. So, even the wrinkles that you have around your eyes or, on your face and everything, it does tell a story. So it's kind of like astrology and fucking woo-woo and, when people call New Age mystery school shit, it's an inversion of sacred, true, honest facts that people that are self-educated and give a rat's ass practice through their entire lives. It's natural. Nobody told me about it when I was a kid, but they were always telling me what I couldn't do, so you know what I did, don't you? Just what I do now, but in a way dumbed down version. And even when Mel and Blowhole and Chanter and fucking Z started all this nonsense, it was getting to me. Little chest pains, things like that. That's why I live on a biomat. The negative ion therapy, far infrared heat, amethyst and black tourmaline crystals. I mean, why are people gonna mock that stuff? We're in third world countries. I'm sorry, it's an alternative treatment for cancer. There's so many things we can do to help ourselves, but of course, when everybody tells you that it's poppycock and nonsense, most people give up and give in. And I've lost a lot over not giving up and not giving in. And then, for this whole thing to have happened, but I want to share something that happened last night that I bring in, as evidence. I mean, I'm a scribe. I need to tell the story current time. So, when this whole thing started with the Elvi, what I knew was that would be the one story that could unite the globe. And I was thinking, cool, because, I mean, shit. Everybody knows Elvis Presley, right? So what they showed me last night made me full well aware that if we're going to have that side of it, there's going to be this duality. It's the one thing globally that everyone will stand up and unite for. And here's the reason. So, I know that I showed you guys this card the other day. And so, the one thing that they all came together for, and they needed a story. A true story that could be proven and documented. So anyhow, we knew it was all about love winning out over the fear of love winning out. And that comes to the rest of the statements. So the sex industry, human trafficking, pedophiles, mental illness, and us being indentured servants and fucking straw men. Think back to the fucking stupid Elvis story. He's legally an adult. He goes in the military. And he finds a 14-year-old. Okay. Now, we grew up, I'm 54. We grew up with believing that anything under 16 was statutory rape. That was what the law said. When they indoctrinated Lauren into that bullshit cult, she was 15. And the boy that had her on her knees was 17 and a senior at McClure High School. Cops couldn't do anything about it, either could the school. Why? Well, because they changed the age limit for statutory rape. And it has to be a certain amount of years different that separates it. And I mean, now we have to hear shit that there's fucking women in government wanting to ink-snay amscray the age limit on a consensual sex act with a child. And it keeps getting stupider and stupider. Well, I'm sure you can see that Elvis Presley didn't need to pick up on no little girl if he wanted to get down and have some fun. And also, this whole thing about grown-ass men. They want a grown-ass woman. They don't want a little fucking girl with all plastic parts and shit that they can't have a conversation with, and, you know, that goes back to Chant-a-Lot, and that goes back to a lot of the other problems. So I wanted to say that. Let me go back up. Okay. So, for real. We are confirming and agreeing that he really is not able to remember, hey, wait, I didn't mean to delete messages. Shit. Ugh. I guess I wasn't supposed to do that. You know I had interest. Fuck. I don't know if my finger hit the wrong thing or what. My apologies. Susie, Kai. But, I did write some notes. So, here's what I want to do. And I want to dedicate this to my new friend, Susie. Let me show you something, sister. It's really cool. You're gonna dig it. You want to know what it is, huh? Isn't it much more fun to get, like, surprises? I mean, they're still dicking around with me, telling me that I don't know what's going on, and there's things I don't know, and there's surprises, and blah, blah, blah. But in the meantime, oh, you can see where I'm at. You just can't see me. Hang on. Here I am. Okay. So, if you're on my YouTube channel, Sophia's Emporium, and you go to my library, there's a playlist. There's so many playlists. Called AD 454. And this is where we learn about the Preseli Bluestone, the Preseli Mountains, the Presley name going back to AD 454 on flippin' paper. And down at the very end, because I just added it, there's all sorts of cool things on my playlist. Okay. check this out. Okay. Now, let me start at the beginning. This is called Massed Pipes and Drums, D-Side, Scotland, April 2018. And it's seen 1,141,687 views. It's by a nice bunch of guys and gals at Braemar Media. And it says that this is the first gathering. This is the first gathering in 2018 of the massed pipes and drums from the Cairngorms in Aberdeenshire, held in Royal Deeside near Braemar. The pipe bands are led by leading drum major Roland Stewart of the Lonoch Pipe Band, and the 10 other bands present were Ballater and District Pipe Band, Huntley and District Pipe Band, Inverurie and District, Grampian District Pipes and Drums, Grampian Police Scottish Pipe Band, Granite City Pipes and Drums, Kentmore Pipe Band, Towie Pipe Band, and the Gordon Highlanders Ass Pipe Band, and in parentheses it says Aberdeen. I said it's a visual feast, surely. Much love and appreciation from a Glasscock lass. I've been learning much on YouTube about our heritage, proper attire, dependent on region, and that proper mermaid with the comb and the mirror. The Gloss clan had a flag for their women. They didn't drag them around by their hair and get rocks in their box and all that bullshit. And Braemar Media says, thank you, glad you enjoyed it. And we're contributing to that information, so tag it, Susie. And I told him blessings, man. How cool. This Steve Masters says, good to see real culture still alive in the world. God bless Scotland. And this Bill Saltbush says, bravo. I've always said that if I wasn't an Aussie, I'd have to be a Scot. This stuff stirs my blood. Unbelievably so. Simply love it. Bruno Lag says, God bless Scotland and the Scottish people. This Kafir guy says, oh my God, may you take pleasure in this wonderful music. How beautiful and precise. It brought tears to my eyes, from the USA. And Rena True says, I love the sound of the bagpipes and drums. I never get tired of hearing it. Gary Stewart says, did you know Gary Stewart says, did you know that the Scots were the first to discover fire, invented the wheel, made the stone, irons, and bronze ages, and civilized the ancient world, while the rest of the world lived up in trees, all scared of the sky? I think the Bible mentions the Garden of Eden was just outside Edinburgh somewhere. Makes sense to me. Jeff Mackey is proud of his Scottish descent, and he says, God bless Scotland. Rusty Grill says, being North American born, I don't know a great deal about Scotland. But from what I've seen, they're powerful people with a great heritage. I'm sure if pushed or backed up against a wall, you'll have a serious fight on your hands. Love the pipes and drums and all they stand for. My greatest respect. Treasure Hunting Pro says, my clan fought battles against the English, Edward III. My clan with King David. When you learn of your descendants, you learn nearly all of our Scottish bloodlines are Celtic. Caledonia formed from Celts from UK. I love the Scots. Forget religion, no divide would be great. I think it may have been Tartaria. Watch Sylvia. Sylvia Ivanova's video on it, nearly New Earth YouTube channel. Thank you, Kai. On the band, Treasure Hunting says, bloody amazing, love it. Drummers beat pipes, God, that lifts your soul, even the guys marching in beat. Nicest thing I can say on there is the family connection, kids drumming, pipes marching, boys and girls class. Bill Neese says spring reawakens the earth. The pipes and drums of the Scots reawaken the soul. How many more do we got? Oh my gosh, you guys should probably come over and check out the comments because it sucks missing the visual. Look at this dude. I love him. And they've all got their different colors on. I've been learning the words. I'll go show you guys where I've been learning about this stuff. And it's all etiquette, you know? And hey, everybody needs to know this. Like, they're making a big deal that no longer are people going to be running around impersonating this heritage and wearing flannel shirts and acting like they got their colors on. They're pissed. They said, blow me sideways. And all the hoopla with the socks and the different kind of shoe covers. See, those aren't necessarily different shoes. That's the fancy stuff you put over the shoes. That's a lumberjack. Right. And look at each one of them. They got different drums. Like that said Toey, and that says inverner. That word I can't pronounce. The police one is I saw the police drum when I watched this for the first. And look at the fertility goddess statue in the background. I mean, how cool can you get? Be right back. This Susie. Tell me don't hang up, you stupid computer. Fuck. I can't. I do not consent. And then, like, you know, it's important whether you wear your pleats in the back or the front. I want to know if these dudes got panties on the dance floor, and I don't mean to sound like that. But you know that's the question everybody's wanting to know. What kind of drawers you wear underneath these things? And I get the pin. See, they wear the pin to weight the kilt so it doesn't flop open. They want to be modest. With the fertility goddess in the background. I mean, and that's why we do need to honor our sacred sexuality. And I sure am not no booty call to Chanter. Thank you. So they wear bloomer type undergarments. Much appreciation for that information. You know, my dad wore one of those terry cloth skirts over his boxer underwear when he was, at home and not at the police station and not out in the garage. So I always knew what my Hoosier dad wore, but, you know, when you're in this kind of getup, and all the different kinds of jackets, and when you wear the jacket, and I'll introduce you to these guys. Look at how cool. They do like 3 numbers. And I love this fire thing in the log. Let me look at my notes. So, we know that one of the things that is so traumatizing to many people besides CW is the thing about coming to terms with what really happened on 9/11. And so I've went on record as saying that morning, and I was at the hair shop, and we were watching it on this little TV. I was looking at that footage and knowing that it didn't look right. Now, the day before, one of our really good friends committed suicide, and he hung himself buck-ass naked in his garage. He was way too pretty to take a weapon to himself, and he had a newborn daughter and a beautiful wife and lots of money and the big life and a son that was about 6 years old, but he felt that he needed some attention at that time. And even with that trauma that we were dealing with, I mean, half of the people would say, well, that must have shocked you into seeing what the truth was on the TV, Suze. And all I know is that it was before the 9/11 incident that I used to bitch all the time, like watching a TV show or a movie, and I could tell that the background wasn't real. And then I talked to other people about it, but most of those people were on the computer and played video games. So some people didn't see it, some people did. Some people wanted to argue and tell me I was stupid, whatever. Now, the other day, when Dick Algar had Cliff High on his show, and this is, one of his newest, Welcome at 412. Excuse me. But anyhow, what they were talking about was how the eyes do something that's natural and that can't be controlled. You can't manipulate the event or anything. Let me stop that share. Or let me get myself... There we go. But the conversation was all about if they were able to still read a book after doing all the, like reading Kindle or books or whatever on the computer. So I know that in this thing on my end, from what I've learned and what they've divulged to me, they like reading my eyes. And I can still read books, and I scan on the computer really fast. I have a talent for being able to read the live stream and keep up. And I don't really, know any more than that. When I share with my friends and clients and things, and I'll tell them this big story, they'll look at me and they'll like want more information. And I only have what information I have as it develops, because every time it develops, I learn something new. And like today, being quiet and observing the show, it's so hard to watch. Whether you like somebody or you don't, or whether they're family or not, is irrelevant. It's very difficult to see people suffering. And that's why, say in my business with the hair Emporium, it was always about sharing with people about the Bach flower essence and Edgar Casey's castor oil packs and homeopathy. And, the library was there to show them something on their paper, like in a book, because they could trust that over me. A lot of people, even that I did their hair, they wanted me to be nationally accredited and a board certified hair colorist, but I was just supposed to stick to hair. They didn't particularly like me showing my intelligence level on any subject that was out of the ballpark in their mind for my level of education. And I think it's way more important to be self-educated and not get all wrapped up and caught in a box, because to have to realize what's happened to our education system is another big shock to people. The more educated you are, you should have a better suit of armor, is why parents drop 6 figures on college and dick around. And right, it was done to all of us, every one of us. Growing up in school, I mean, if you think about it, so if I'm growing up in grade school in the early 70s, and we have these history books, the way they wrote it, they even implied that things that were going on like in the 50s or the early 60s were a million years ago. And I guess it's easy to take advantage of a child because all they know is their own age. Everybody else is older than they are. I don't know how they passed it off to the parents like that, but I do know in my own particular case, what the parents were freaking out about in 1974 and 1975 was the forced busing and the voluntary desegregation that, sent people migrating. And I do need to bring up from my show yesterday where we go over, oh, you haven't seen it yet, I should just shut my mouth. Forget about it. Now, I want to explain. Okay, so number 4 took off while my eyes were down. Just in a couple minutes, it's 4:18. I want to explain again, do the best I can to share with you what other people say is impossible that I've been involved in. And no, nobody called me on the phone and asked me, was it okay? Or send me a text or fly a drone up to the house, whatever. But it was about a year and 4 months ago that I started noticing there was two-way video communication, like pretend you're on a phone or a walkie-talkie or whatever does the visual for you. Right, right. And I'll tell you the truth, okay, now, even though I knew that they could hear what I was saying and they could see me, the spacing of the words, I was able to, get my punches in, and that's what you guys have been seeing me do, like when I do the Chanter critiques, right? And like even my own self, I'll say a certain roll of things and then I stop and pause, and of course, that's where somebody else could go, hey, and do their thing to me. But they say that that's directly connected to NLP. I didn't know that, and I've always spoken this way. And I know that a lot of my clients, if they're listening to me speak, will go into that next relaxed state that is right before hypnosis, and I have to kind of wake them up, shake them up, because I don't want anybody nodding out when I'm doing their hair. And, that's why the music and things. Who was it? It might have even been Chanter, I'm not sure. In the last 20 hours, someone brought up the conversation, which builds off of a Bionic Woman episode that I shared, where Lindsay goes in to get her hair done at the big Hollywood hair shop, right? And she's undercover and she's going in to check out the dirty deals done dirt cheap. She's not stupid. Well, she goes into the shop, and the dude that's going to do her hair, I mean, think about like Warren Beatty and shampoo. He has a big badass shop, but he has a private area where he does his client's hair. I had a private area too, just not, as cool. Anyhow, she knows that he's up to trouble, and when he leaves the room, she's going to check things out. She notices that there's an extra wire involved in the dryer. You sit under the dryer with the hood over your head. Well, anyhow, she sees that, and the hairdressing guy comes back in the room and lays her back in the bowl to get shampooed. And the shampoo bottle had like a dispenser nozzle that would kind of go in and out, like have a spring. And he was fucking pushing that on her head when he was squirting the shampoo out, and so you think about hitting pulse points or just opening up the scalp. I like to think about it, our skin is our first primary line of defense. And so if you open up the pores, your scalp is more sensitive and things can soak in and bother you. Same thing on your skin. Well, after he does that thing with her head, when he goes to shampoo her, and I mean, I'm a professional shampoo artist, he can blow me sideways. He starts in with real heavy, and he's pushing that shampoo in. And I know it's just TV, but I'm illustrating a point. And then he started scrubbing her hard. And if you really want to give somebody a roll in the bowl, you're doing your hands opposite as you shampoo. If you're doing them the same on each side, you can see that's a different movement. Well, anyhow, he's taking her head for a ride, and she's kind of, like going out and shit. And he knows when she's in that state where he can control her. That's right. But we're talking about mind control and how someone would take advantage of their position that their client's condition is in from the way they do what they do, right? So when he sits her up, she's kind of like that, and the eyes are weird. And he rolls her hair up in all these little metal rods, which, back to hairdressing, if you're going to do big waves in somebody's hair, you're not wrapping them up in little metal rods. But they were conductors, you see. So then he puts her under the dryer and starts giving her the interrogation. And while she's under there, he asks her, he says, now show me what you can do. And so, like she's in the dryer and she's got the arm of the chair, right? And she goes, do, 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 and she bends the arm of the chair all the way down and then brings it back up. Like, this is what I can do. Well, then, when she was done drying, which was when the interrogation was done and the tape machine, like in Watergate, was in the shelves next to the dryer. And he tells her now, when you come to, you're going to feel really, really good. And you're going to think your hair looks like $1,000,000. And you're going to schedule a weekly appointment for me to do this treatment on you. Okay, that's the end of the show. But you see, that's going back to my teenage years. So I'm going to tell you the truth. And I always tell the truth. I shouldn't have to say it every fucking time. But, like my own self, I was already on the road to lying by the age of 15. I mean, you want to do your own thing. I know I get boring. Peace out at 4:25. But anyhow, just keeping it real. So, my mom wanted a partner in crime to lie with. And, I had a boyfriend, and, he's telling me I can't smoke and drink and party with my friends, and I'm lying. And he sneaks in my room and goes through my paraphernalia drawer, lines it all up on the floor, and when I come home, he grabs me up, and I'm all alone by myself. And instead of punching me, he punched the wall and broke his hand. He loved me too much, you see. Well, anyhow, the way I got rid of Charlie Vark was, his hands broke. And he's crying, take him to the fucking hospital. I'm like, all right. And so we walked downstairs. And, usually, like if it's my house, I'd go out first and then he'd go out and I'd close the door behind. Oh, fuck no. I said, I forgot something. I'll be right back. Go ahead. I gotta grab my thing. Well, the minute he was outside the door, I slammed that fucking door closed, double locked it. And that's how I broke up with Charlie Vark. So, the whole point of that story is to let you know that by that age, I didn't want to lie for no reason. And I didn't want to manipulate people with lying or with my sexuality, because both were involved. So, that's how I got to be the woman you know these days. What did I put on my self earlier? It's this essential oil, and now I don't know where it is. And it's Dr. Shealy's Bliss Oil. And he has this regime that I could never afford to do, but you do the pulse points with these different oils. And it's a book about the Methuselah principle, which would be where you can live to be very healthy and be 120 years old. Let's see if anybody's going to say anything. Nope, just another crap-ass call that nobody's there. We also want to bring into a fact that I have no clue what a progressive bleeding heart liberal is. I don't know none of these terms and definitions, and I think that as shit hits the fan and everybody comes together, that by that time, they'd have some kind of flow chart that would show you how that all got manipulated and turned around. And it'd just go back to some kind of say, well, this is, whatever it is. Guilty by association. Pisses me off. That's why everybody's full of shit and you can't trust anybody. I disagree. But in the same sense, guilty by association is awesome. When fools that were running a scam get caught. Because they're going to drag everybody down with them that ever did anything bad with them. And I just want everybody to know that I'm nobody's judge and jury as far as who was involved and who was there when they went to do the spell casting on me. I look more to honor the people that refused to do it, like Og and Shane and Raksha. So see, I don't really look at the negative side. I don't need to know how much each person did. I just want them to knock it the fuck off. And quit asking when do they get to put their 2 cents in, because number one and his crew were years ahead of you people. And I gotta say that the first time whoever number one is put out a recording was 1998. And the reason I bring that up is because Chanter's most recent show where he teaches you how to time travel, he wants you to only focus on 1998. And I mean, I'm a life charting expert, and I think people should be able to call into memory every one of those years, but only relative facts. Like if he's gonna push you to say, where were you on Monday, July 17th in 1998, that's kind of like saying, hey, Suze, you're full of shit. You're not psychic. You're a fucking data collecting shill kind of weirdo. Do a psychic trick for me. I don't do tricks and whore myself out. It's all about me being in the flow and doing what I'm doing, and then people can make their own I mean, everybody's got an opinion, but people need to be able to go beyond that and say, well, I saw something in what she was doing, or bring your evidence on why I'm full of shit. Whichever. But it's going down, and it's been going down for this whole last year, and I knew it. And not because anybody told me, because it arises in me, and I told you, the computer's the brain. The brain is your organic computer. This is an interface, this fucking screen and computer and electricity and all that shit. And your heart's your real brain. So the advanced work behind the scenes that was done on me, because I did enough work that they could actually engage a sequence. See, I've been doing this work since the time I was 3 years old. So I did enough that they could do something to help me out, keep my heart rate calm, maybe buy a little more time on whatever they did to my mouth, because it's pretty serious. And I think me removing a couple parasites that weren't supposed to be there. See, us A blood types. Our blood is super toxic to parasites or to implants or to chips. We reject them. They can't, it doesn't work long enough to stay in. When I did that last surgery that I made a video out of, that's a piece of metal that's not from this earth. So tag that one too. And I have it upstairs in a bag. And I made a drawing showing in detail how there's this little clear wire sticking out of it. And it took me with that bug bite thing 10 draws before that fucking thing lifted up out of my bone. So, they knew. And, it's hard for people to realize that every time, whether they eat something healthy or something not healthy, whether it's a nanobot or some piece of smart dust or a fucking organic parasite or some kind of bacteria, we do imbibe it. And that's why we need to keep our immune systems up. Oh, I got one more thing. Like I told you, that closed down nuclear power plant that was in the range of the fire, being named Susanna. Well, always remember that Hurricane Florence, when it hit New Bern, North Carolina, that's where Dr. George Glasscock of the Revolutionary War lived, served in his community, worked in local government, bivouacked the troops during the Revolutionary War, and his kin held the Land Patent Act of 1643. So, he was murdered in 1789, and everybody's putting the timelines together. Alright. I do want to show you something else, though. So we looked at the bagpipe, guys. I want to show you where I've been learning about kilts, if anybody's interested. Oh, fuck. Oh, that's me. I was like, oh no, Chanter's on. It's not funny. Okay, we just open up the subscriptions. Or we go to my messages. I got so much shit on my computer. I mean, I love it all. It's not really like I can decide what to get rid of. It's not getting me there as quick as I want, is it? You can see I get pretty involved. USA kilts. There it is. Here we go. Let me just get it right. Okay, so these guys, you know they're friends with number one also. This is called USA Kilts and Celtic Traditions. These guys, man. Alright, let's see. Which one do you want to watch? I guess we watched the one they put up here for us. Maybe they knew we were coming. Established 2003. I always think he can see me. Because I know there's two-way video. Oh, we were talking about the two-way video communication.
It is a... In a word, just do it.
Welcome
Is
at
interesting because
4:37.
you have more of a conception in your mind of what other people are thinking of you, and you are more concerned about it than the rest of the world is. I understand coming from a small town. I understand not necessarily wanting to be the weird guy in the kilt, but just
Hang on.
once you start going out there, you're going to be shocked the positive reinforcement you're going to get from people.
Pull my
all
drawer
around
out.
you. You're going to get the
There we
the
go.
comment from a truckload of teenage kids. Hey, nice skirt, buddy. So what? They're screaming past you at 70 miles an hour. Who cares? They might hit a tree. It's.
And look at
Point is,
dude
just be yourself.
with
If
his
you
with
wear
his
the wear
grommets.
just go
Check
out
out
and wear
dude's
it.
earrings.
Consequences do damn. That's how I started. I didn't care what other people thought. The first time I wore it to I wore it to a gym on a bet, and I made my huge strapping, big gym rat buddy friend go with me. And the only comments I got, were positive ones. So, and for months after that,
Looks
he would
good.
actually get questions from everybody else in the gym. Hey, where's your buddy in the kill? Why isn't your buddy in the kill here with you? And that kind of thing. So it's really just in your own head. Once you
Tag it.
do it.
What's in your
You're
head?
gonna find out that 99% of the people think it's awesome. A lot more people are going to come up to you and want to talk to you about their trip to Ireland in 1972 and how it was the best time of their life and kilts are awesome.
I've
But
never been
don't
outside the
worry about
United
it, just
States.
do it. And once you do it, you're going to look back and think to yourself after your 5th, 6th, 7th time you've worn it out in public, what was I so concerned about?
Yeah,
If you had any panties on the dance floor, but you did.
guys are worried like, oh,
Kai
I'm
told
wearing
us.
a skirt, but what you're actually talking about is a traditional form of national garb, and these days people recognize that. It's not like you're going out there. If you're going out in a utility kilt or some kind of like mug, what is it, male unbifurcated garment?
Yep.
Then you're more likely to get some interesting looks. But if you're going out there in a tartan kilt with a sporran and a kilt belt, that kind of stuff, you look Scottish, and people recognize that, and it's going to be
Just up and
that dude's Scottish. I get more questions about, are you a bagpiper? Is there a parade? That kind of thing. Then why are you wearing that?
And the funny thing is, over time, your brain will change. Where when I first started wearing kilts, I was kind of the same way, and I was nervous going out doing it. Then I started to like the attention that I was getting when I was going out wearing a kilt.
Yep.
So you're just kind of the happy guy in the kilt. After 10 years of wearing kilts, you're going out and you become old and curmudgeonly, and you don't necessarily want the attention.
Right.
So what you'll end up having is what happened to me is I'll go out somewhere and I'll just be, going about my business to the grocery store or wherever, and I'll
Fucking
notice
right
somebody
on.
just staring at me in the grocery store, and
Look at dude.
what's going through my head is, what the heck is this guy staring at me for? Then I look down and realize,
right.
I'm in a kilt. Forgot about that. So mentally, you will make a shift at some point.
I can only imagine. And they do have a video where they go into elaborate detail about like what you should wear if you're just hanging out at the bar or if you're going to a formal event or hola, or if you're going, or if you were in the military, Supposedly there's just going to be one guy in a kilt somewhere, but I have a feeling that that's not exactly the truth on that one. I have no idea. Okay, so you saw that. And then the other thing that I need to show you guys. Okay, check this out. In hell, I'll be in good company. Because remember, Chanter's talking about hell. Now, in this particular video, I made comments. There's all sorts of renditions of this song. But this dude, he really likes redheads. We had a conversation. He was saying, I'll ditch my brunette girlfriend, for a redhead. And I'm like, you know, but we're all just playing. It's just a joke. I love how he starts out with the whistling and how he carries his cello. I mean, this is priceless. Look at this dude. And look at them all. And then they start. And they go. Okay, so you get the idea. Um, this is the official one. Let me see if I can get with lyrics. Well, look what they look at now. Okay, all right. So Chanter acts like he's freaking out that he just figured out that if you do hashtags as a particular algorithm, and you heard me speak my wish. I said, well, what about in hell I'll be in good company with lyrics, and poof, poof, they pop it right up. And you see it's not alphabetical because cover is listed below lyrics. Uh-huh, exactly. And don't think that these Presley men aren't way up high in their military prowess. All right, here's the lyrics. And we won't play the audio because I'm not trying to, like, you know, do all that. I'll have something to say, I'm sure. So they're going to bring up the Dead South, and then they're going to start it right about here. In hell I'll be in good company, they say it over and over. Dead love couldn't go no further, proud of and disgusted by her. Push, shove, a little bruised and battered. Oh Lord, I ain't coming home with you. My life's a bit more colder. Dead wife is what I told her. Brass knife sinks into my shoulder. Oh babe, don't know what I'm gonna do. Oh, come on, I know y'all got more. Oh, they put their manhood right there. Okay. I see my redhead, messed bed, tear, shed, queen bee my squeeze. The stage it smells, tells, hell's bells, misspells, knocks me off my knees. It didn't hurt, flirt, blood squirt, stuffed shirt, hang me on a tree. After I count down 3 rounds, in hell I'll be in good company. You know, we have to go into the whole Lilith thing, right? All women are cursed as, quote, Lilith, not just the redhead. Oh, dead love couldn't go no further. Proud of and disgusted by her. Push, shove, a little bruised and battered. Oh, Lord, I ain't coming home with you. Do. My life's a bit more colder. Dead wife is what I told her. Brass knife sinks into my shoulder. Oh, babe, don't know what I'm gonna do. And then they go do. It's really cute. Oh, they gotta bring up their fingers now. Look at this. Point, what? Point to what? Did you guys just see they threw up some Spanish? and I didn't see Spanish any other time, and I don't see it here now. But about 2 seconds before I turned that off, sure as shit they were speaking taco to us. All right. So let's get out of there and go back. This isn't right. There we go. Okay. So we only have 20 more minutes to endure this, but what is going to happen now is I'm going to take you over and show you what I share on Facebook. And, you know, all I got to say about this is when all of a sudden I found myself on the computer for the first time ever, having to talk to people, Facebook was the way that happened. And I still want a definition beyond an app as an application, but like you can see, I keep my screens open and I bounce back and forth, see, up there. And I know there's way more than one dimension of the web and so on and so forth, but it's really a lot smaller than what you guys believe, and that's why in the end everybody knows everybody, no matter whether it's one avatar or the other, so you better tag it. And then, you know, at the same time I have to show my respect and say that good people have more than one avatar for a particular reason, and now I see that side as well. But, you know, when I was in Facebook and seeing the pictures of the trafficked kids and all the different things that I saw, I didn't have a full understanding until recently when I learned about the video gaming side of YouTube and what the origins of each different type of social media is. So I do appreciate the edumacation on that. And you guys know that I'm saying edumacation on purpose. It's not like I'm a boof and trying to say education. It's part of my comedy act. So I have certain words I use, and edumacation is one of them. So I'm going to start this up, and we're going to finish this out, and let's do it.
Why is it so hard for people to do? You know, it's like one thing if I was the only person on YouTube that was saying that questions or comments for the speaker should be in all caps. But literally everyone, that's like the preferred methodology. It's like screaming, feel free to scream. Daz Gage, CW, I have forgotten the slang from those days. Is this important? You can reacquire the slang from these days by watching the movies and media of this era. The slang will come back to you. Bert Liff, nobody used caps like these in 1998. Wrong, young students. Incorrect. They did use caps like this in 1998. They used caps when screaming. Rose Joy, did Y2K change reality? Y2K, Rose, hasn't happened yet. It's 1998.
I'm getting my
Y2K
dad's glass
is a
cock.
thought in the future. We don't know yet what will happen.
This is my official
Data Buck Walker.
glass cock.
Can I carry glow sticks like I'm ready to go to a rave at any moment?
Better tag glow stick.
The answer is simple. If that's what you were doing, and if that's where we could find you in 1998, then yes, sir. And while I don't advocate the
It's
use
my
of
dad's
any
name.
medicinal agent that's not available by prescription, if one were to choose to do so, and it wouldn't be a harm to you if you don't have an allergy, go ahead and
that
drink,
daggum drone
eat,
music.
or drop whatever you did in 1998.
Tag it, huh?
Breach 123, again, all caps. In 1998, I think I was in an after-work 7 Habits of a Highly Effective People course. Brilliant. Brilliant. You're already getting there. In November of 1998, I would be in. I was enrolled at UMass Amherst.
Whoop-de-fucking do.
I forget the town I specifically lived in.
Welcome at
But I know I lived in a
454.
condominium complex, and it was a two-bedroom condo that I rented from a man who I believe was Armenian, who owned a pizza parlor. Make of that what you will. Being lived. Nagano Olympics in Japan. Brilliant. The Olympics occur in Japan. The Olympics occur in the calendar year 1998. Watch them. You've got plenty of options. Return with me to 1998. Only questions in all caps or statements still. Questions and comments in all caps if you want me to see it. My eyes are not too good. Something has happened to my eyes in 1998.
I see parasites in it.
That's Joseph Wildman. If anyone wonders why my story is full of holes, it's not because I'm lying. It's because I was only 3 at the time, so I don't remember
3.
much. I know I was in the program, though. Yes, you were. Yes, you were. Rose Joy, damn you, CW, that means the Saving Private Ryan VCR binge. Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Peace out at 455.
Europe saying it is illegal to clone people on January 12th, 1998. And so it begins. We find these touchstones, we return to these touchstones, and we restart the clock. Through the time tunnel we jump. Through the time tunnel we travel. We are making it happen. David Buckwalter, where are we supposed to find a Blockbuster video? Return to the physical locations. Extra credit goes to those individuals who travel back in time, in physical space, returning to moments of sacred importance and places of sacred importance where amazing, magical events occurred in your life in 1998. Where was that Blockbuster video? Find it in its location in physical space, touch the walls, and remember. Were you sexually active in 1998? Abstain from the manufactured pornography of today. Close your eyes and return to those spaces, those bodies, those smells, and those occurrences. Return with me now to 1998. Breach 123. January 2nd, 1998. Chris Farley autopsy revealed he died of a drug overdose. Let us remember the people and events of 1998. Golden Coin 100. 1998 was the underground introduction of the F-175.
I am fascinated with your language in that last comment. You had somewhat of a renaissance in 95 and 96. Best years for music. Wait. And creativity since the punk and original goth of the late 70s and 80s was in 93, 94 as well, was dead energetically by 98. Thank you. You know, when you got little kids running around, you miss a couple things. Though underground music still came out in somewhat, but died off by 2000.
You'll strengthen yourself. You'll become a fighter and a warrior. Do what feels contrary to want and desire. Make yourself try. Come back with us to 1998.
I ain't going nowhere with you, fool.
1998, I was 10. Brilliant. Touch that space. Understand where you were. What were you playing with?
Welcome
What
at
were your favorite
459.
toys? Do you still have them at grandma or grandpa's house?
Resonate with
Touch them. They're real. Scotty Karate, MMA, CW, can we tweet you 98 homework assignments? Absolutely you can, and we will
Fuck
share them
no.
with each other. 1998 was a blast, and it will be again. Rose Joy, have you tried AOL 4.0 yet? I have so many of those
Right,
AOL
nope.
discs in 1998, it's not even funny. I can often be found making literal card castles, right? Out of them. I save them up,
Take
contemplating
notes.
an art project.
Yeah.
It's 1998.
Oh, man.
We can use them as coasters. Breach 123, January 7th, 1998. Monica denies giving Clinton a blowjob. Why did they say that Bill Clinton was her first black president?
What?
Joseph Wildman. Extra points for working the death of Princess Diana to the story. It's not about working it into the story, it's about returning to the actual place. Close your eyes and contemplate. Remember the mystery. There were conspiracy theorists at work in 1998. David Icke was off to the races in 1998. What books were published? What words were being written? What words were being read? What was Jordan Maxwell doing in 1998? What was Tex Mars and Jim Mars doing in 1998? Was Alex Jones broadcasting in 1998? William Cooper.
What's up with this drone music? See, I think that it's some kind of weaponry, like, you know, the 432 hertz is beneficial versus everything was done in 430 to take away some of the, I would say, healing benefits or spiritual intuitions. Yeah, mind control trance, I know. And they love it. These people on this stream claim to love this music. So now what they're doing is they're playing Rock Band. They're hooking up to his drone music. And so to me, that seems like a level up on the junior spellcasting wizard school. Yeah, they're like, it's the best. I know. It's ate up like a soup sandwich. I don't get it. And this proves and illustrates the point that everybody really does hear something different. I mean, is all I can say. But here again, they're going to stick to their lie together. It's a concentrated effort. I feel like it's spiritual warfare. I really do.
Small black cat.
You gotta watch Michael's
Female
streams to
in
figure out the
blue
hive mind.
blanket.
Thank you, I will.
Touch this small
Which
black
Michael?
cat.
There's so many.
No one
I know
understands the
Omnieros
information
is
that has been
Michael,
revealed by the man, the myth,
but I
the
don't
legend,
think
and
you're
the
talking about
C.W.
him.
Chanter is a touchstone. Meditate upon the fact that 20 years from one night.
And I know
small black
Michael's
cat,
important in
and
this
another small
game.
black cat.
Oh, it is. He's a pip, man. Always fucking screaming. He's more angry than Chanter, and
Not all the memories of 98
thank you.
were pleasant ones.
Thank you for that.
Turn to all of them in
Somebody
time.
implied that he is higher on the food chain than Chanter.
Exposed Barbara Walters. We got Ditto Heads in 1998.
Kind of like Thomas Kerwin. He's got to be high up in the technology end, the computer end of this.
Time, power years for you. Zora Dax. Exchange photos and stories.
See.
From the Secret Space Program Whistleblower School. C.W.Chanter's Secret Space Program Whistleblower School. Don't get twisted. January 1998.
Don't get it
John Glenn
twisted,
plans-
tag
I
it.
can see things are moving so fast.
You know who
Send it.
was saying that first.
January 1998. John Glenn plans to go back into
And
space
I
at
don't
age
care.
76.
But he acts like he's a fucking genius and I'm a moron.
Hugo Chavez becomes Venezuelan president.
And they go back and forth now on each other's streams, giving each
Nintendo
other shout outs.
64.
Right.
Play it.
Trying to merge those numbers. But you gotta, I know you know.
Yep.
Our side's
Yeah, I'm
numbers
done. Oh, now that
are
you're
so
all
much
done.
higher than their side's numbers. I'm talking about globally. We might be a little funkadelic over here in the States. But, yeah, and Omni's 3 sevens divine Michael. Wait till I read all his slanderous, fucked up, messed up comments that he left on my YouTube channel.
Oh my God. Less is more. 1998, my first heartbreak. F that noise. No. No, return. Return to the heartbreak. Return to the young man or woman's body.
No
Did you know
thanks.
them in the biblical sense? If not, did you think about knowing them in the biblical sense? Return. Top 10 songs Candle in the Wind by Elton John. Yes. Suggestions. Wikipedia has an entry for albums released on music in 1998. Or this year in music, 1998. You can also check out top 50 songs or top 50 albums of 1998. There are lists to beat the band. Google and the internet search is your friend. Oh, go ask Jeeves. It's 1998.
Cliff High says, for $1 million, I'll arrange for you to be sent into the future 120 years while your clone stays here to work.
C.W., where were you in this season of life? In November of 1998, I would have turned 23. It's my 23rd year of life.
Yeah, we're learning more about that story, actually. If you watch Dick Algar's most recent conversation with him, you'll see an honest look at his life chart. Welcome at 506. Yeah. And you know, everybody's had a hard time. I mean, but it's what we do.
I had begun my high school. I graduated high school
With
in
this
1993.
time that we've been
Started going to
graced
school,
with.
Took off after 2 years. Took 3 years off, then returned in 1998. In 1998, check this out. Here's where it gets crazy, and then we'll end with this. Because I gotta go.
You gotta go.
In 1998, in January of 1998, I celebrated New Year's of 1998. I celebrated at a New Year's party held at the house of at that time, friend. That friend later became Mrs. C.W.Chanter from Line I'm Dying. That friend came with 2 other friends and helped me move from Teaneck, New Jersey to Massachusetts.
Hola.
Ain't that some crazy shit? Ain't that some wild and crazy shit?
You see, that's where he releases the information that at one point he had no interest in her, but she helped him out. And then later on they got together, and it's no shame to say that he knocked her up. I mean, whether they were planning on making little humans or not. And that's how he's so devoted. But here again, what that poor woman has been through with him, one can only imagine. And it's like anybody. I think a lot of people think once they get to a certain age, they may as well be stuck in the relationship they're in. But there are young women now out there challenging the same entity. Usually those who lost a child as well. Some of these that have come from Boza's channel. Right. Right.
The dog is more important than World Cup. We can keep ourselves to the dog. Space shuttle attaches to the first UA main part of the International Space Station, or so they would have you believe, in 1998. And that is where we will have to leave it. It's 11:35. The change of shift has occurred, and I am off to a scheduled appointment. 1998.
It says
Oprah
top
trial against
secret.
Mad Cow has ended.
It's a scheduled appointment.
Interesting. 1998 was my first spiritual awakening. Amazing. There you go. See, it's already begun. Is it chance or coincidence that one of the members of the secret space program, C.W.Chanter secret space program whistleblower school, you're in? Whether you like it or not, you're already made yourself manifest by sharing your time and energy. Had their first spiritual awakening in 1998? No, it's no coincidence. January 1998, Ramzi Youssef sends to life for the 1993 World Trade Center bombing. I still have my pogs and garbage pail kids. Line them up, put them against the wall.
I saw the
Trade
Garbage
with
Pail
friends.
Kids movie last night on
See that
TV. No
thing with
shit.
What was it? The circular disc that flipped them up.
Pandora's
Oh my
box.
God, Pogs. I had forgotten.
Green
And
slime.
you just remembered. We're bringing it back to 1998. It's
Big
already
hair
begun.
movie.
It's already begun. It's already begun. There you go. Brilliance. Think about what I've told you this day. We've engaged in a powerful methodology. All systems engaged. I was 10 years old in January 1998. Those were
I
the
know, I
days.
couldn't believe it
Those were
either.
the days. Steve, those are the days.
Mr. Computer Head made sure I saw it last night.
Where we go one, we go all.
First half was
I love you,
okay,
I
and then
love
I
you, I
lost
love you.
interest.
The adventure continues. Ooh, interesting. There you go. But we have to leave it there. I love you, I love you, I love you. If no one told you that they loved you today, someone just did. Someone just told you that they loved you on at 11:37 a.m.
I didn't know
on
people
November
still use
28th.
pagers.
The year of our Lord and Lady, 1998. Farewell till tomorrow or tonight. Take care.
Peace out at 5:10. Word to your mother. An affluent for you. What a piece of shit that dude is. Oh, this is that time travel deal, but I thought I was showing you guys my Facebook stream. Maybe not. Maybe I'm done. Maybe it's time to regroup. Let's see. Let me go back with my arrows. Oh, shit. Guess what? CW's Applied Time Travel Technology Part 2 starts 9 minutes ago. Man, it's a terrible thing to waste an opportunity, isn't it? What shall we do to then? Oh, man. If it's that, I can't hang. But we're definitely going to check it out. And I don't even like that drone music. Did I mention that? Okay. Let's get rid of a deleted video on a list. You never want to have messy. I want to show you something. This is a video by a channel called Rich Some Bitch. Here's some entertainment. The words are changed in this, but you never know. A bot might think it's really you-know-who, and it's just really cool graphics, isn't it? Or visuals, or whatever you want to call it. Here he goes. And I was born to rock. So YouTube, see? It's not the original song by the original person per se. Recently, we have Elvis singing with several people, both and they're in sync together. That's how advanced the computers are now. And neither voice is the voice of who you think it is. Daggum. They can make anybody's voice and anybody's pitch and do all sorts of fun tricks. And number one knows all about the tricks. He's the trickiest. And he very possibly is a triplet, definitely a twin. The story is the same generation after generation. And these guys all play rock band. And they are not going to let Chanter in their band. And they say, keep your hands off her, she belongs to me. And I think these cats should at least, like, come meet me and talk to me. But oh no, we got to work it up just a little more. I mean, you know, he says he's going to surprise me. I'm going to fall off my seat. He is pretty damn cool, though. And I'm telling you, one of them Elvis is alive. Think what you will. I don't give a shit. And maybe that dopey 20 and back program has to do with Elvis's computer that they grabbed up that ran the satellite program. I don't know. I'm just giving you my most intelligent perception on what I've been put through for 4.5 years now. And Mr. Computerhead is too, the international man of mystery, and he said call him number 1. So I do. And this is my little granddaughter we don't get to see anymore. It was 2012 when the shift happened. Her name is Leela Faye. We called her Sugar Butt. And that's the old hair shop floor. On Church Street, you can hear Lauren in the background. I'm working on the left there. Look at her.
Show us how you do it. Show us how you do it. Show us how you do it. You gotta get a grip up front.
Back, Doggo had to go potty, and Cat was outside. I didn't know. Oh.
Oh my goodness.
I was just rolling a video.
You're fine?
And this is my oldest granddaughter.
Doing it, girl.
The sad thing is, she asks everybody about me and nobody even speak. Is it freezing there? Interesting. Because I was just getting ready to say the gold camps are involved in this Catholic Church crap, Sacred Heart nonsense, running restaurants, running Florissant, in with the cops, the whole 9 yards. Pain in my ass. You know, I mean, my ex, with all this parental alienation and abuse he's put the kids through, my daughter, totally renouncing the Pratt family, and those children trapped. All right, I'm worked up. I think I'm going. Because I don't know where to go from here, to be honest. So, we got Chanter's show done. That's powerful. And believe me, there's a lot more I need to do. You may see me back shortly. And what we're going to do is go over the notes from the load of shit the United States National Archives was shoveling today live earlier. That's a really good channel if you guys want to see intel breaching at its finest. U.S. National Archives. And that is the channel. Peace out, number 4. I can't tell what time it is now because I'm on the wrong screen, damn it. But, 519, man. And I know somebody else just split too. That's cool. I just do it to help document algorithms and show how things work. And that's all she wrote, man. Oh, yeah, I'll probably be back later. Right. Okay. Peace, love, and light from the Big Yellow House on the third cosmic ray in our world. Talk soon, and thank you very much.